Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking on the Dreaded D-Rose Report. Here we go. Yesterday's, I hope you got that TLC ladder match. If you did, well, ladder pay-per-view, not just the match. But anyway, if you got the pay-per-view, let me know what you thought about it. Leave it down below there. Yesterday's WWE TLC pay-per-view is set to be released, believe it or not, already on January 18th. You can pre-order it now by going to Amazon.com. Jim Ross noted on his Twitter yesterday that Jerry the King Lawler is still dealing with issues of a staph infection in his knee. Lawler, who wrestled this past Friday night at WWE Developmental Show, had surgery on the problem shortly before his main event against the Miz and back when he wrestled the Miz on Raw. But anyway, hopefully they'll get that taken care of. WWE has a change in the scoring system of Season 4 NXT. From now on, certain rookie challenges will be for more immunity points than others. I don't keep track of that. Just get us a winner and be done with it. Anyway, these challenges offer more points and be chosen at random, and most likely they're going to keep the majority of the people anyway, which I think they should. They got some good wrestlers on there this time. As you know, they did other times too. Former diva Maria Kanellis, she's asking fans to vote for her for next season's Dancing with the Stars, which I watch every day. I don't. Anyway, Maria is signed on to play the character Maggie in a new movie called Manos: The Search for the Valley Lodge. I don't know nothing about that. A former star, you ain't gonna believe this, who's in there with her? Also starring in the movie, Gene Snitsky. Where's that sucker been? Hopefully he wears a toupee and false teeth. Jerry Lawler teamed with, I was telling you about that earlier, diva Sonya from the developmental down south for the Christmas Super Show, Fort Myers, Florida. They defeated the team of Trent Beretta and Rosa Mendez. Ricardo Rodriguez, by the way, Alberto Del Rio's personal ring announcer, he's using his former independent wrestling gimmick at the WWE developmental shows. Rodriguez wrestles under a mask, and his name is Shimura. Anyway, he lost to Richie Steamboat Friday show. Rey Mysterio wrote on his Twitter after last night's TLC pay-per-view that he felt banged up, and props to everybody that was in the match. That was a good match. The original plans, by the way, if you've seen, that's why I was asking if you've seen the pay-per-view, for the WWE Intercontinental Championship last night at the pay-per-view was Dolph Ziggler was actually supposed to catch the belt when it fell from Kofi Kingston to Jack Swagger on the ladder. Instead, the finish got botched a little bit, and as Dolph picked up the belt after it had fallen. So they didn't quite get it right, but it still worked. Wade Barrett, by the way, is trending worldwide during the main event on Twitter, TLC Twitter, last night's Twitter thing. I don't know why they have to go and look him up all at once, but people do. Today is former Tiffany's birthday, WWE diva, who turns 26. She wrote on her Twitter that she's getting checked today for cancer. Says, I'm sure I'm fine, but weird that docs want to check it anyway. Prayers go to those that do. WWE Studios' Legendary Knucklehead are now available for streaming via Netflix. Conclusion to last night's Diva Tag Team match, by the way, between Michelle McCool, Layla, and Beth Phoenix and Natalya, reportedly was as planned as tables used in the bout, but anyway, they were tested beforehand to make sure that they would not break when the Divas champion shoved LeCool off the turnbuckle. Natalya then splashed, then breaking the table, giving her and Beth Phoenix the win. I mean, they check those things. Don't want to hurt nobody. Don't want to get a concussion, do we, Austin? You know what I mean? If you watch football. Following John Morrison's win over Sheamus at he's the #1 contender match at Table Ladders and Chairs pay-per-view, the main event of January's Royal Rumble event is expected to be Morrison challenging The Miz for the WWE Championship. I like those two wrestling together. They put on a good show. And speaking of Morrison, his performance last night, many within WWE saw it as a star-making breakout performance. Some compared to the TLC ladder match by the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, that put them on the map and make him a top-tier performer. Despite his impressive performance, it really does come down to how WWE management pushes him, and it's not a sure thing that he's going to be treated as a main eventer in the long term. So I hope he does. And if they want somebody to show off the belt, hell, he'd be a good person to represent wrestling. But anyway, with this being WWE week on USA and live episodes of Raw and SmackDown airing on USA tonight and tomorrow, there's going to be some talent crossing over to the other brands, which is that a big major announcement? By the way, Beth Phoenix wrote on her Twitter last night after the TLC match, the risks are high each time you step foot into the ring, but last night, she's talking about last night, proved to me how much I love my job. He says, I took a nasty fall, but that's why I've always been called Phoenix. I just can't stay down for a long time. Jim Ross noted on his Twitter that world champion, remember him, Booker T. 5. Anyway, him and his wife Charmel and their infant twins were backstage at last night's TLC ladder match too, just visiting friends. Big Show will be signing copies of Knucklehead at the FYE store, Military Drive, San Antonio, Texas tonight at 6 o'clock if you're around that way. Autographs are limited to the first 300 DVD purchasers. Former WWE Zach Gowen, remember him? Was at the Ring of Honor show at New York City this last night, I guess it was, just visiting. Diamond Dallas Page and several others were at Rob Van Dam's 40th birthday at the Rainbow Room, West Hollywood last night. Busy people last night. As noted earlier, Lacey Von Erich is not done with wrestling. She recently took part in a racy private wrestling shoot with Ring Divas companies that is for sale and is titled Private Lessons 1 with Lacey Von Erich. Former TNA Knockout is also getting married soon to her fiance, which normally you do, Grant Blindberry. Anyway, I'm going to look that up. I'll let you know about that. Private Sessions, Volume 1. Ring Divas. Scott Hall, by the way, was reportedly involved in an incident at a gas station near his home recently where police were called. Hall was involved in some sort of a disturbance. He wasn't arrested, though, for once. Attaboy. Tonight's WWE Raw taking place at the Frank Irwin Center, Austin, Texas. No match has been announced so far. John Morrison is #1 contender for the WWE title after beating Sheamus last night at the show. No word when he'll get his shot against his former tag team partner, The Miz. And for those that didn't see, Beth Phoenix, like I said, took a nasty bump outside the ring during her Divas match with the tables. Word is that Phoenix wasn't injured during the bump, and she's doing okay. Dark match before last night's TLC matches at the Toyota Center, Houston, Texas. We didn't get to see the U.S. champion Daniel Bryan defeat Ted DiBiase by submission with the label lock. And Edge is your new world champion after defeating Kane, Alberto Del Rio, and Rey Mysterio at the TLC match last night. Last night's Tribute to the Troops special on NBC drew a 0.7 overnight rating in the 18 to 49 demographic. It showed it did really bad. And I think they do a 0.7 with the replay of on WGN. So I don't know if that's going to be going on too much further because it's not a good time. Sunday nights not real good on stuff like that, unless it's a big special. But I don't know, they may not go too much further. Anyway, WWE Special Edition magazine will be the year-end photos issue featuring hundreds of photos from the past year and hits the stands next week. I gotta go.